So your website homepage, often neglected, probably a missed opportunity. In today's video, I'm actually going to walk you through some of the tips and tricks that I think you should implement quickly and easily. None of this stuff is going to take weeks and weeks. This is stuff you can do in an afternoon that will drastically increase the chances that some new website visitor, new eyeballs on your site are going to become customers and followers and fans. Your homepage does that, and the great news is it's low-hanging fruit. It ain't gonna take a while to step up your homepage game, so let's dive into it. So I'm gonna drop 5 what I consider must-haves to have on your website homepage. These are all pretty straightforward to implement, and then I'm actually gonna go over some different building blocks you can use to actually make these 5 must-haves happen, and I'll also show you plenty of examples along the way. Number 1, your logo or your name in pixel perfect clarity. I cannot tell you how many times I go to a newer blogger or creator's website and I see their logo with teeny tiny text that you can't actually read, by the way, when you're looking at the website, or it is blurry. I don't know what website theme you're using, but just make sure you have exported your logo in a high enough resolution so that when it's scaled down to 100 pixels, 200 pixels wide, or whatever it is, it actually looks clear. If you actually export your logo at 100 pixels or 200 pixels wide and then stick it into that same little frame, it's going to look terrible. What you do is you export it at 500, 700, 1,000 pixels wide. Again, refer to your theme documentation. You put it on there, your theme is going to make it appear 100 to 200 pixels and it'll be clear. So do that. And also, if you have tiny text in your logo, no one can read it. No one can see it. Maybe just remove that part of it. Keep the same logo roughly, but just take some of the small words out. It's not doing you any good and it looks unprofessional. So that's must have number 1, the name of your blog or your brand or your business in a good looking, properly scaled, properly resolution logo. Must have number 2 is a way for people to follow you. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that you absolutely need to have an email opt-in front and center that takes up your entire homepage. I know some people are not into that. Some people are, but at least have a way where we can follow you. Pinterest. Have some of your pins there or have a link to your Pinterest profile. If you're big on Instagram or you're big on TikTok or you're big on whatever it is, have links there. Have icons where people can go and follow you and or an email list. We're actually going to talk about some freebies in just a few minutes, but a way for people to follow you. This is a must. So must-haves 3, 4, and 5 are actually kind of grouped together in what I like to call the what, why, what formula. I actually wrote a blog post on this over 3 years ago at this point, which is kind of crazy. What, why, what? Those are the next 3 things. The first one is, what is your blog about? Allow me to throw a good friend of mine, Penny, under the bus because she actually did a decent job with this. What is your blog about? She picks up pennies. You may be able to tell it's personal finance by just the domain name and the name, but living a more purposeful life, 1 cent at a time, she's kind of reinforcing this. Again, this could actually be more clear if it's just me, but you need to be informing people, what is this website about? What does this business do? What do we talk about? What's your niche? Be very, very clear. Sometimes it's really abundant in the name of your blog or your business, and sometimes it's not. We're going to talk about the perfect tagline here in a minute, but this is part 1. What is your blog about? What does your business do? That's the first what. The 4th must-have is the why. Why should people follow you? Notice I have the emphasis on you. There's lots of personal finance blogs. Why should we follow Penny? There's lots of meta bloggers. Why should we follow Pete? Do you even blog? What's your business teaching me about whatever your topic is? Authority, social proof. I'll tell you how to implement these in just a second, but you have to show people why they should follow you. You have to give them a reason. And the last little must-have that you absolutely need to have on your website is what's in it for them. With them, what's in it for me? That is what new eyeballs are thinking. What's in it for me to follow She Picks Up Pennies? What's in it for me to follow insert name of your blog and business here. So before I dive into examples, let's sum those up. All of these are going to be presented in these building block examples that I'm going to walk through. Number 1, name of your business or blog, very clearly laid out, or your logo with preferably no tiny text that we can't read anyways. Make it crystal clear, pixel perfect. Number 2, a way for people to follow you. And actually, you notice what I saw on Penny's website right here, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, boom. And also work with me and start here, which we'll come back to in just a second. And then the what, why, what formula. What is your blog or business about? Why should we follow you? your authority, social proof, your expertise, your story. We'll talk about it in a second. And then what's in it for them? What are people going to learn from this website, from following you? What's in it for them? What are you going to give them? All right, so here are the building blocks of any homepage. You can pick and choose these as you desire to make sure you have those 5 must-haves. Number 1, the logo or name I'm not going to talk too much about, other than to say, here's my own website. You can actually see down here that this image, it says intrinsic 1516 by 192. That's the actual size of the image. Of course, my theme that I built is scaling it down to this size. 1500 would actually be like this wide over here, but it's shrinking it down so it's not pixelated, so it's not blurry. Building block number 2, a big, bold promise. I used to tell people this all the time. A great way to introduce yourself and your business or your blog is with a very simple formula, and it goes a little something like this. I help X with Y. I help moms with postpartum depression. I help bloggers grow their traffic with SEO. I help X do Y. It's a great way to introduce yourself, and it's also a great thing to put on your homepage. By the way, one tip is even if you don't want to use the word I, just take off the I help. I help bloggers grow their traffic. You could just say, grow your traffic. That's an extreme example. Build a business. In fact, you can go back and look at my homepage right here. Create freedom and money from an online business. That is my big, bold promise. I help creators create freedom and money from an online business. I haven't worked on that in a while, so it's a little fuzzy, but the point is you need a big, bold promise and statement. Liz Wilcox has, I make writing emails easy. Yep, even for you. The next building block would be a tagline, a crystal clear, not clever tagline. Something, again, we're talking about the what, why, what, right? What is your blog about? What do you do? A tagline is the perfect place to tell people exactly that. So on Darren's site, ProBlogger.com, he has a full-on paragraph. There's actually 2 big sentences right here that says exactly in crystal clear language what it is this site does. What it is this site does? I don't know if that makes any sense. Since 2004, blah, 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 bloggers create and grow their blogs and then go professional to make money blogging. We've got this and this and this, yada, yada. A crystal clear tagline. Now, the next building block is really clever tagline. I actually think this is a good way to do this. You need to have at least one sentence on your homepage that is, here is what we do in crystal clear language that no one is going to mistake. A brand new eyeball on your website, you have like 2.5 seconds to capture their attention and tell them the what, why, what. What is this blog about? Make it crystal clear. But on the other hand, after the 2.5 seconds, once somebody lands on your site, they need to have a good sense of the brand. Who you are. Why should I follow Darren? Well, Darren's got this funky Captain America shirt on. There's a little bit of personality in there. I like that. Or Liz Wilcox has a bunch of like neon colors and like 90s thing, and her copywriting is really clever and fun and funky. People are attracted to that. They are attracted to Liz. They are attracted to Pete at Do Even Blog, because I also have, by creating friggin' awesome content, helping people and learning how to sell things. This is like half and half, by the way. This is sort of clear. Like if I just had by writing really great blog post, helping your audience, and learning how to sell things on the internet, that would be very clear, but a little boring. So I include the word friggin' there. And I also did some clever stuff over here. I'm possibly, likely, no, totally the nerdiest online business nut on the internet. It's fun, it's funky, it's a joke, yada, yada. It's branding. I need a little bit of clear, what is your site about, and a little bit of clever. Here is how I'm a little bit different from everybody else, which by the way, is the why. And the what, why, what formula. What is this blog about and why should I follow you? Part of that is branding. Show us your humor. Show us your personality. Be clever. Be witty. Be funny. Be bold. Be timid and quiet with small text. It doesn't matter. Whatever is you and your brand. The next building block of your homepage is a really nice photo of you. Now, if you are not anonymous, meaning if I click over to your about page and I see your picture, why not put it on the homepage? People go to your homepage initially before they make it to your about page, usually, and I want to see you. We need to follow you as a person, as well as your content, your blog, and your business. This is Kellen and Brittany from The Savvy Couple. There's, of course, my good friend Raina. Liz Wilcox, we've already seen several times. Lots of pictures of her on the homepage. Darren's on his homepage, I'm on my homepage, and then again down here, all over the place. They see me, they see my name and picture attached to this brand. Now, Pete, what if I'm anonymous? I don't share my photo. I'm actually going to go back to Penny's website because this is hilarious. I believe this picture right here Whenever I see this, I think of Penny. This is her Twitter thumbnail or whatever. I'm pretty sure it's also the same on any other social platforms or Pinterest or whatever. She uses this photo. It is basically, she doesn't have a logo per se. She doesn't share her image per se or pictures of herself per se. She has this image as her brandable thing. Whenever I see this image, I think of Penny. And so I think even if you don't show your face, you should have something like this. It could just be your logo. It could just be your brand name. That's fine, but it needs to be something that can stick in people's head. And then when they see it on Facebook a month later, when they see it on a Twitter ad a week later, they will think of you and your website and your brand. The next building block for your homepage is some way to build authority. What I mean by that, this is the why, by the way. Why should people follow you? Well, there's a few different things you could do. Since I'm on Penny's website, you scroll down and you see some of the sites that she has been featured on. In fact, she even won an award, 9th Annual Plutus Awards winner. On The Savvy Couples, you can see featured on Forbes, USA Today, blah, blah, blah. I have this same sort of thing on some of the outlets I've been featured on right there, like a little social proof bar. But also on my homepage, you can see this. What is all this? I have this big screenshot of some fans of Do You Even Blog who I ship t-shirts to. These are not me, obviously. There's Pete. I say that, and I'm all over the site. These are not Pete. These are other people. That is social proof. This builds up my authority. This builds up my business as a, wow, this must reach people. Lots of people are talking about him on Twitter and Facebook, and there's people wearing shirts with the name of his brand on it. Like, this is authority building. Another thing that I recommend, if you don't have that and you haven't been featured in Business Insider or wherever, start with your story. I point to this, but this is not actually my story per se, but it kind of is. You can just start with a miniature story of why you are talking about your topic, whether that's dog grooming or parenting or personal finance or blogging or whatever that is. How did you get into this? Just like 4 paragraphs worth. Hi, my name is so-and-so. I started this as a way to document my XYZ journey as I have 17 kids and do awesome with that. Or I, save $1 million and become a millionaire by age 20. Or whatever it is, whatever your topic is, to tell the mini version of your story as it relates to your topic, why you're doing what you're doing, why you're blogging about XYZ, why you created a business for XYZ. That actually builds up an authority too. It could be very miniature and you can actually link out to your about page if people want to learn more. You can see that's actually what I did. Mine is a little bit more of a mission statement. This is a little bit more branding. This tribe believes every blogger can make a difference and make income, blah, blah, blah. You can read it. We're here to fight blog mediocrity and help bloggers make more money doing better work. This is like my mission statement. It's not necessarily my bio, but then I link out to my about page. So social proof, anything that builds authority. If you have credentials in your space, like you have a CPA license and you're talking about accounting, yours truly. Actually, I lost my CPA license because I haven't done it in years. But the point is, showcase your credentials, your expertise, your authority, your experience, your knowledge. Tell your own story. Don't just like list them out by bullet points, usually. Why we should follow you, as opposed to all the other people who talk about what you're doing. Your story, your expertise, your authority, your social proof. Okay, the next building block is a way for people to follow you. We already mentioned Penny's site up here had like right there in the headers, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. I love that. Let's see what we got over here with the Savvy Couple. We're going to come back to this. They have a freebie, which you can do, grab it here. I'm assuming that leads to their email list. Join our 300,000 monthly readers. That's also social proof, by the way. Drop in those numbers. Get instant access to our free thing. That's our freebie. It's a good way to grow the email list. That's a Facebook group. That's a way for other people to follow them. I actually love to point people to lots of different freebies I have. And of course, I want people on YouTube. I want people to subscribe to me here on YouTube. So I link to that. A way for people to follow you. And I also have an email opt-in down here at the bottom. And this isn't really the homepage per se, but I also have a whole footer thingy over here where people can find me on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. The point is, you need to have social links or an email opt-in or both. Give people plenty of opportunities to follow you. And the last little building block that I really want to talk about right here is a way to silo people into different pieces of content or parts of your business or subtopics that you talk about. Get into more of your stuff. Freebies, whether that's like articles or blog posts or downloads, PDFs or free courses or paid products or booking a call with you. Give people an opportunity to kind of silo themselves, right? To find different subtopics. Let me give you some examples. On my own site, I have right up here, help. I want to reach more people and make more money from your thing, blah, 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 I have resources. Let's get started. That actually just jumps down to this part of my homepage, which is if you're a new blogger, go here. If you are an existing blogger who wants to produce content faster, it's a huge pain point my audience has, go grab 1 hour blog post. I also talk a lot about podcasting. If you want to launch a podcast, download the 2021 podcast launch checklist. It's free. I have a podcast episode with Seth Godin, also authority building, by the way, also social proof. I get to name drop Seth. Right here, I'm siloing people based on a few different things. One, do you listen to podcasts? Here's podcast for you. Are you more of a YouTube watcher person? Go watch me on YouTube. Are you more of a free guide sort of person? Get those things. Also, are you interested in podcasting? Over here. Interested in productivity and producing content faster? Over here. Are you interested in monetization and funnels, sales and marketing? Over here. Here's my new thing. Another example, recent post, popular post. This is a great first start. Obviously, you could do like a start here sort of thing. And by the way, Penny actually had that. Let me zoom out. Start here. I love this. She has that right there. Different categories. Destroying debt. Here, here, here. Tackling clutter. Here, here, and here. Different categories, different subtopics that she talks about, she gets people to. And also these. Popular post. Here are 3 more popular ones. Here are my most recent posts. The Savvy Couple also had this right up top. How can we help you? Make money, save money, budgeting. Boom. 3 big categories right there. I can almost guarantee you ProBlogger has sort of the same thing. They're siloing people. Blog post. Blog post, blog post, blog post. Podcast, 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 podcast. Learn, ultimate guide, pro blogger pillars, different stuff. View all post, view all podcast, learn, and then look, he's doing it again right here. I need help to start a blog, create content, make money blogging. These are the different silos of this blog. These are the different categories, subtopics, and mediums. Blogging, podcasting for Darren. For me, it's mostly podcasting and YouTube on my homepage. I'm trying to get you into the podcast. I'm trying to get you to my YouTube channel, and I'm trying to get you on the email list, really. I'm siloing people based on their interest, their needs, and where they like to consume content. I'm gonna say that one more time because it's the last thing. I am trying to silo people, help them find their different paths based on what they want to learn about, and then the format for learning. Podcasting, YouTube, free things, and then go from there. All right, so I hope that was helpful. I'm actually going to let you go from this YouTube video. Please go watch some of my other videos. That helps me out in the YouTube algorithms, for those that aren't in the know. No, go watch the videos in the description below. Hashtag YouTube, like, comment, subscribe. I love you guys. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you next time. Adios.